My name is Dominic Morgan and I'm the Director of Operations for Inspiral Health. And we're going to talk about integrated crisis management and where does it come from. Well, integrated crisis management is built very firmly on the back of two other response systems that are well understood, well used across both the UK and North America and now globally. The first is integrated emergency management. Integrated emergency management was developed in the UK in the 1980s in response to some major incident debriefs and the collective learning that came out of those debriefs. It was discovered that time and time again, that organisations were responding to an incident which involved more than one organisation, and each organisation had its own organisational priorities. They were all valid in isolation. What was discovered is that actually what it did was it worked against each other at the scene, and it failed to create an integrated response at major incidents. So if you think of the police, the fire, ambulance, but other organisations like Coast Guard, Royal National Lifeboat Institution, all depending on the nature of the major incident that was being dealt with, they have all come together with their own organisational priorities. To overcome this, integrated emergency management recognised that there needed to be a process in real time at the scene that allowed all organisations to come together, plan effectively and act effectively in an integrated way. So what was developed was a concept called over the bonnet, and it literally meant that to find the nearest vehicle and then get over the bonnet of that vehicle each of the operational leaders from each of the organisations to come together at the earliest opportunity within the incident and agree a new operational plan in an integrated way. Because of that, that allowed many incidents to run much smoother and organisations to identify really quickly what their shortcomings were, what their resource requirements were, and how to do that in an integrated way, leading to some much more effective outcomes from incidents, and was embedded essentially within the UK's pre-hospital and emergency services. Recent examples of where this has gone wrong may be examples such as the Manchester bombing, where one organisation effectively was holding back another organisation from responding. So it's vital that integrated emergency management continues to be understood and applied. That is one of the fundamental cornerstones of integrated crisis management. The second is called the Incident Command System, or ICS. And that was developed essentially in the late 60s and early 70s in America, in North America, mainly due to the large wildfires in California. And again, recognition time and time again in incident debriefs of failure of communication, of structure and response. And it was recognised that people were coming again, organisations all meaning well, coming with their own organisational priorities, but they didn't have a recognised system to work together in. So they had their own systems, their own command and control processes, but that did not lend itself to big, large, complicated major incidents such as wildfires. So what happened was ICS was developed in response to that. And ICS, what it does is it allows a much more structured approach. There's a very clear structure, has a very clear command and control, and it takes over the command and control of each of the other organisations to work in an integrated way. So you would have heard of the terms of gold, silver and bronze. And they represent gold being strategic, silver being tactical, and bronze being operational. I'm often asked what that means. Well, really it's very simple. Gold means what are we doing and why are we doing it? They set that aim, they set that agenda. They don't necessarily have to be at the scene for that to happen because that could be set prior to the incident occurring. Silver is tactical. So how are we doing this? What tactics are we going to use? What equipment, what people, what processes are we going to use to be able to affect this? And operational, bronze level, is exactly that. Who is doing this? The people at the front line, the people that are actually required to behave differently under the ICS system. ICS has a very clear understanding about a number of processes that interfere with major incident management, such as communication. So it has a process in it called span of control. And that allows you to effectively talk to no more than 5 people at any one time. Because it was recognised that if you talk to more than 5 people at any one time, you're not really in charge anymore because you're doing all the time talking and you're not doing your time actually responding. It also allowed for very defined roles, so very clear accountability, such as safety roles, such as communications roles, press liaison roles. All the roles that you can think that you might require in a major incident are all brought together under the incident command system, which is used right across North America, Canada, and the UK in all the pre-hospital and rescue services, and now globally. Integrated crisis management is built on the back of those two response systems, integrated emergency management and the ICS system. It uses the ICS system structures, and it uses the ethos of coming together earlier in incident to create an integrated response. Bringing both of those together creates integrated crisis management.